Welcome back for session 6 of Become an Herbalist. My name is Laura Baum, and I am tuning in today live from Richmond, Virginia. Please let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from and your full name so I can give you participation points for our weekly challenge. We will announce the winner tomorrow for both the book giveaway, which is based on how many times people shared the group with their friends and loved ones, because honestly, this should be shared with our friends and our loved ones. We should be healing together in community. That is going to have better success when we bring in a partner or bring in a loved one into this process with us. There's a lot of statistical evidence that shows that when we do that, we are more successful in our changing efforts. Hello, hello, and happy Saturday, everyone. And I hope you had a nice, long, good rest today. And maybe you spent some time watching some replays and catching up. It's all good. If you are watching on replay, just make sure to comment on the post for session 6 and say the word watched to get replay points for that participation giveaway. Again, I'm Laura Baum, founder of Laura's Botanicals, and we are on day 6. We are talking about formulation and research tonight. Goody, goody, goody. These are some yummy topics. So we'll get right into it in just a second. We still have 2 more live sessions, and those are all on Zoom. I checked that there is a Zoom session set up already for Monday. It's through your original registration. So when you register with Zoom initially, it could have been a few days ago or it could have been 3 weeks ago. Just look in your inbox for the email that you provided to Zoom, and that is where the registration link is for all of the events. And the events do run through Monday. So we have one more session tomorrow night for the weekend. The session is on the herbal business setup. And this is for the person who already knows that they're going to be wanting to be a community healer because once they feel better, they want to give back, or they want to be able to facilitate now to get the resources they need for their own personal health practice. So it's not a business program. Like Everyday Herbals Fast Track is not a business program. We have other offerings that do support businesses completely strategically. This is a program for people who are ready to step into being able to get their own resources together, to build community around their interests, because they don't really have that already in their area. They're interested in networking and bringing like-minded individuals together. They're interested in sharing resources, in creating sustainable partnerships with growers in their area and farmers in their area. So this is the crucial work, right? The grassroots work to be able to create community around your interests and to connect other people together. So I'm going into that tonight based on our decade of experience. My Facebook group, Richmond Herbalism Guild, is 9 years old today. Oh my gosh, I just realized. Yes, yay, congratulations to us. I mean, it's a big birthday, 9 years. Next year it'll be even bigger, right? For our 10-year. And there's a lot that we've learned over the years, that we didn't want to be an overarching professional guild. We wanted to be a group of people who were interested in plants and wanted to share experiences that we had with plants, and then get together and do things that were beneficial for our local community and for our bioregion. And honestly, every single one of us can create so many different tools in our area because of where we are. So that's why this is a great approach. So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we'll go into that and kind of some of the ways that you can start to leverage and launch your relationships a little bit more strategically with farmers and with other consumers in the area and practitioners in the area. Monday night will be a bonus session, and I'm going to go into leadership and finding your voice, continuing to cast that vision that we talked about on the first day. How do we not lose that vision, right? How do we keep it going even when things get hard, overwhelm is sets in, we get burnt out? Really keeping our vision in our focus and our high priority. And I will introduce you to a mechanism I call the reflection session, which is a super important tool to kind of make this all come full circle, right? Because now you have the theme, you have the structures, which are the garden and the herbal apothecary, you have your goals, and you know what you're going to be going in what direction. You have some things mapped out on your calendar as to when you're going to focus on each of those core things and those activities. And you also then should know, like, okay, how do I know that I effectively hit goals? How do I look back on this past 30 days or 60 days of effort and say this was successful or not? So that's going to be Monday session, again, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And that'll be our final closing session for this whole week long Become an Herbalist live event. If you haven't already and you want to book a call on my calendar, you are totally welcome to do so. We're really grateful for all of the folks who've already done that. It's been really, really awesome to get to know you all on that individual level and to give you some deeper assistance on mapping out your health action plan for the next 150 days. So really breaking it down, which goal to prioritize first and then the other ones after, right? So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you streamline that a bit and to make it even more effective. And so you can do that at my Calendly, which I've shared in the Facebook group, Become an Herbalist live event experience, as well as the email you provided for this Zoom experience. All right, I'm going to check the chat, make sure we got everybody introducing themselves. We do. Awesome. And what has there been, just to share in the chat, just to get some chat going here, what has been your biggest takeaway this week so far? Like, what is the thing you're definitely going to be doing when this event concludes? Like, what is the thing that you're going to be really honing in on? Go ahead in the chat and tell us today. Let's start some communication here while I get this screen share going. Awesome. All right. All right, so like I said, we're on night 6, session 6, and we are talking about the pillars of herbal formulation and research. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we would do research, why knowing how to formulate is important. And of course, this all feeds into our everyday holistic strategy. We believe that everyone has it in them to help their lifestyle with natural solutions for improved health. It starts at home, right? It's not just about people who are practitioners telling us what to do with our bodies, right? That's empowering because we're using those choices, but it's not necessarily empowering if we don't know why we're given the solutions that we're given. So when we have our own body literacy training, when we have our own developed skill sets, when we have our own plan of action implemented, and we're taking more initiative, guess what? We're going to see better success with all of our health results, especially in between practitioner sessions. So this is taking a little bit of that power back or a lot of that power back. And what will that do? That'll make you feel better faster, take better control of your outcomes in general. So you're saving a lot of money that you might be throwing at band-aid solutions and really just like not really knowing why you're doing what you're doing. A lot of products that you're in the moment emotionally purchasing because it means a lot in the moment. But then you have this whole cabinet full of supplements and books and courses you purchased, and you haven't taken them. You haven't done anything with them. I'm saying it's time to take action. How do you already know the healing knowledge that you know? So go ahead in the chat, and this could in the workbook for this event, the notes for this section today, for this session, is what are the 3 pillars? And we're going to get there in just a couple minutes. But before that, let's do a little bit of conversation in the chat. How do you already know the healing knowledge that you know? Because most of us already have healing knowledge. You know, if imagine a time you were sick when you were a kid, what was the thing that your parent provided you to make you feel better? What is the type of tea that you make when you have a sore throat and you want to comfort yourself? What is the type of lozenge you take when you have a sore throat? So everybody, we don't really necessarily call it, you know, medicine, but it really is, right? Because you are attempting to cure, you're attempting to calm, and you're attempting to comfort. Those are all parts of medicine too. It's not just the straightforward pharmaceutical or the route of that kind of medicine. So where is that knowledge? Where did you leave off last with it? When was it the most deep for you? It could be a family dinner or a ritual you had for a holiday with a family member. There could be something there that really will connect you back into maybe a part of you that you haven't been conditioned or leaning into lately. And we all have that within us, and we all have learned from multiple different sources, of course, as well. So we all have it in us to be very effective at our own self-healing too, because we know our bodies well. um, Nobody really knows your body better than you, right? And also that innate healing capacity and that understanding too that healing, which we mentioned on day one, is always integrated. It's not just the body. We are more than bodies. We are spirits. We are souls. We have mental health. And mental health isn't just like this separate department, right, from your body. It's part of your body. It works with your body. They have now the research backing and the understanding clinically that the gut talks to the brain more than the brain talks to the gut. So the gut brain and that, your gut instinct is actually a real thing and it totally informs the rest of your body and what to do, right? So the more that we push this healing knowledge forward, the more discoveries we make as herbalists, the better the entire world becomes, right? We're not just contributing to our own bodies, we're always contributing to the larger meaning of health because it's a science. It always grows with more and more evidence and more stories. So that's why we practice our voices, getting to know ourselves, deepening ourselves. You just, you're gonna feel better. And when you're feeling better, you're gonna want to be doing all kinds of new things that you haven't been doing. All right. So how do people attain working knowledge with plants? Well, there you go. There's lots of sources, right? Family members are definitely core things, right? People you love, friends. We trust them. We trust them. It's a connected source. Also, it could be a legacy for some people. Maybe they are ancestral healers. They're people who grew up together, very close-knit communities. And these are things we always did. There are areas of this country that never broke away from traditional healers. They never broke away from granny healers. They were always very kind of hesitant to conform into conventional medicine or hospital systems. And then other towns, that's not the case. All you see are hospital systems and very little traditional healing happening. So we can't paint this blanket statement picture when there's so much nuance and so much context within America in general, as well as the Western world. A lot of people today, of course, get their information from internet sources, YouTube, commercials, ads, Google searches, live stream events as like the one you're on now, Facebook groups, communities. People again are seeking out information in the places that they know to be they can get communication and information. Personal experiences. Personal experiences are very important, again, because you know your body and you know what you've been through. Everybody has their own health history and their body keeps a score. So you know what you've been through and how you got through it, right? And you could even probably break it down step by step sequentially how you recovered from that particular thing. And that is very important information when it comes to therapeutics and self healing. It's something an experience you can draw from, and it's an experience that you can then share with other people, like what it is that you tried, how it is that you recovered, and how you think they might be able to help themselves too. Social groups specific to the interests, like gardening groups, very important groups that can share a lot of interesting, quick little tips. Doctors and healthcare professionals. There are doctors who are informative about herbs. They might not have studied them, but they know how to read the studies. There are some doctors who are trained in herbalists in particular specialties. Herb schools, direct mentorship retreats, and conferences. Of course, these are hubs. These are closed ecosystems that are meant to propagate and strengthen people's convictions and their knowledge bases. And conferences, of course, have a lot more of a studious academic kind of atmosphere. Retreats are more recreational. So you're going and maybe trying a particular herb or a type of herb process or ritual or ceremony, and or you're in a particular location where you're going to be foraging or learning the wild foods and the culinary traditions of a particular area. Natural food sources, natural stores, herb shops, these are very classic, very popular since the 60s. Food co-ops especially, where people are, again, they're part of a community sharing program, taking initiative in local food systems, integrity of food systems, and honoring local farm to table relationships. They also usually generally have a mixed diversity of products and brands to try out and the different kinds of preparations we talked about during our herbal medicine making session. And they're usually a pretty well informed staff, usually very diverse in their ages, a lot of young people and a lot of older people. So it's a good kind of intergenerational mix. Usually the managers are older and the people who are filling up the shelves are younger, college age. So it can be kind of an interesting mix of conversation that can happen there. There's also like local papers, local subsidiaries on natural health, healing, and wellness. Books, of course, are main sources of information, and farmers are great word of mouth connections, and they can give you a lot of that growing expertise. But also, they eat the food they generally grow. So they also can have quite a bit of recipes and interesting therapeutic qualities to share with you. So all of these sources provide information, right? And that's why I asked you, where and how do you find out about your solutions? But it also helps to have that system in place to sort the information by priorities and to take action to implement what you learn, right? We can be taking all the information in that we want based on our in the moment impulse, but we also need to be figuring out a way to make it all work for the long term results. So it's, not layering information upon information upon information. We have to find and make that strategic space in our lives and that timing in our lives to integrate the information, to actually act upon it, and to know which information is going to be the most important for us to really turn the needle in our personal health. Formulation is it's a good segue to herbal formulation because it helps to understand herbal formulation to be more effective with the actions that you take. So again, that action we're going to take, we are going to be filling our apothecary, our herbal workspace with specific formulas. The definition of herbal formulation is that it's more than one herb together. So if you're taking a single herb or a simple, that's one thing. And that can be a very encouraging way to learn the herbs individually. But I want to be honest with you that most herbal protocols involve several herbs, and that is because it is effective to combine herbs. One herb by itself just might not cut it. Most of the time, it won't. You need to combine herbs together in a proper formula. And there are lots of formulas from many different herbalists over the years to try and to integrate and to see which ones you had the most success with. So now we'll get into those three pillars of herbal formulation. And it's really cool actually, because again, you're taking a little bit of that control back, a lot of that control back by creating these things yourself and adding to that to your own impression and your own way of working with herbs. There's no two herb formulas that are the same. Even in commercially produced ones, there's still always a little bit of nuance and character. And the first pillar is timing. So when you make the herbal formula, will impact the potency of the herbal formula. So this can go a little bit more in the older mechanisms of why medicine was made to begin with. Certain medicines, herbal medicines were made only on the waning moon, for example, or on the full moon, depending on the placement of the planets, but also the season in which you grew and harvested the plant will also affect the character and the output of the therapeutic that you create. If you choose to harvest in the fall, for example, versus that same plant being harvested in the spring or summer, that will also give you a different kind of window of chemistry that will influence the plant formula. The second pillar is the energetics. The energetics will affect the formula. And this is an ancient system, and it is basically in a gist that plants are like people. Sorry, plants are like people, like plants, people, all those peas. So we're individuals, right? No two are the same. plants are the same, and we embrace their unique qualities within formulas, always seeking balance. So, classic formulas like chai tea, those are several different spices, but they come together in a harmony. Okay. There's a reason why those herbs are in that formula together, and it's energetics. So, we want to include these concepts and understand these plants on an individual basis. The third pillar of herbal formulation is the person intended. This means the herbal formula should be designed for someone specific. Even a general herbal formula is intended for someone specific, a non complicated case, a general tonic useful for most people. So, even if it's not necessarily created for a one to one case, it's for everybody in general for general toning of a specific reason. So, that's, why we think about the person always we're trying to create the herbal formula for. In this case, with the herbal practice you're creating, it's for you. And then it's for the people who you'll be able to affect because you'll have that confidence in that particular theme. Make sense? Awesome. Share your thoughts in the comments about the pillars and, what you did not think about before when it comes to herbal formulas and being able to make them now with more confidence and more rootedness in tradition within the ancient herbalism tradition. And here's a final note too about formulas in general. When you're purchasing already made herbal formulas, products for you for your own personal health, which you probably will be, look for the following things to ensure these are safe and effective preparations. Scientific names on the labels. So, scientific names are those two names, we call it binomial nomenclature, two names of the plants in Latin. It should be in italics. So, if you are getting a tincture of hawthorn, it should say the common name, the everyday name, which is hawthorn or hawthorn berry or hawthorn leaf flower. It could be a combination of those two things because you can use all the parts or the totality of that plant. But the genus, rather the scientific or Latin name is Crataegus, Crataegus spp, meaning all species within Crataegus are known as herbal medicine. So if the product only said hawthorn, I would be definitely hesitant to purchase it because it does not include the proper Latin name, the proper scientific name on the label. It's technically a requirement. You also want to look for the dates made, make sure that the expiration is not past the date that you've purchased or before the date you've purchased, rather. You want to make sure the ratios of herb to menstruum. We said the word menstruum once in the herbal medicine making session this past Thursday. Menstruum is the solvent or the thing that it's dissolved into. So we talked about water and teas, but it could be other substances as well. And we want to make sure that we understand how much of the herb is to that solvent to make sure it's within the proper, appropriate range of solvency, which you can actually research to figure out for each individual plant. You want to learn the facility it was made in and the active and inactive ingredients because you don't necessarily want to take a supplement or a preparation where other things are added that are maybe going to be an allergy issue for you or just not necessary. Synthetic stuff or weird preservatives or plastics and all kinds of weird stuff that could be put into these products today because there's really no oversight over that. And then you also want to look for things like brand reputation. Does this company seem to have knowledge? Do they have any background or herbalists on staff? Where are they based? Is there community around them? Have they taken that work to develop relationships with growers? Do they seem ethical? Are they an MLM? MLMs are not ethical by design because their whole purpose is selling the product. They don't care about ethics, as we learned with Young Living, and over harvesting of spikenard in Nepal. They just, it's about the pushing of the product and trying you to get the different product in all kinds of different ways, high consumption of the product, very inappropriate amounts of consumption, versus companies that might do things out of their way to make sure that they're sustainable, like having a B Corp status, which is a very hard status to get, or only working with true organic farming, which is quite a feat to become an organic farmer in this country. Or, just going out and giving back to communities somehow. Maybe they purchase land for their workers. Maybe they allow their workers to own part of the company or own all the company. These are the kinds of things that you get to make as a decision maker when you're choosing these brands. And there we have it. That is the training tonight. That primer to herbal research, how we get to know the information we know, how to sort through it, why having a system in place makes it mean more to you, and also be able to take action in a more prioritized way, as well as the pillars of formulation when you're going to make your own formulas. Of course, we can go a lot deeper, and we do in the Everyday Herbalism Fast Track, my group program, which doors have now widely swung open. I am here and I am ready for you to be a soundboard and to have a community for you so we can all work and learn and thrive together this year. And this is direct mentorship with me. Over my last decade, I have served lots and lots and lots of people directly with health advice, health support, and workshops, as well as this group program and one-to-one consultations. And I am here to provide resources to deepen your process that you've already learned this week and to give you even more insights on the individual plants and formulas that will be in your themes to continue to learn and take and grow with and heal with. And we have a lot of bonuses right now, of course, and those are time contingent on you joining us by the end of the day on the 4th of February. So you will be getting a 12-month membership, access to all my materials, bonus materials, and digital courses. We have coaching and training, not just me, but guest practitioners in multiple healing modalities. And we have everything is paced out over the year for you to participate in. We're going to be strengthening your approach in gardening, your herbal workspace, as well as the actual herbal medicine making. So, we're going to go more deeply into the foraging, plant identification, body. And so that you have these foundational skills and that you also are taking a lot more aligned action towards your own personal health goals. Awesome. So I really hope you join us. Some of those bonuses that we have is the Body Literacy Academy and my recorded interviews with a lot of different practitioners and master herbalists. We're going to be also including our Beyond Herbal Syrup Herbal Business Kit and my homemade elixirs to send you so that you get to enjoy a little bit of me when you're going through this journey together. And we have a VIP tier as well as a basic membership. So the basic membership is everything we just said, plus the bonuses. The VIP tier is a little bit more one-to-one consultation and custom herb mixture lists for you, as well as the links to buy, where to buy all those things in your local area and not your local area, just from sources that we've used over the years that are, they're reputable and excellent. All right, good stuff. So there you have it. And we have 2 more sessions, but let me know in the chat how are you feeling so far about everything and any questions you may have for me as we have endeavored into even more content tonight. So yeah, I see that there is information that we had passed down from family. Absolutely, absolutely. And that can just get even more strengthened by continuing to practice what you've learned. Routine and creating a growing garden are some of these goals. Growing more herbs and building apothecary and creating products. Yes, 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 yes. So, yeah. Yeah, ready to get back to our roots. Absolutely. Thank you. It's super it's super now, right? There's really there's nothing better to invest in than your health. And that's the truth because it's an investment that will just continue to grow as you get better and get better and get better. So, um it's one where you will have the structure too, and the lack of overwhelm when it comes to which things to try, where to start. So we're definitely ready for you. It's all set and ready to go, and we start on February 11th. All right, everybody. So I'll go ahead and make sure I put that link in the chat. Oh, yeah, I had wanted to make sure too that you guys, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube, I'd appreciate it. I'll put that link in here for you. And that's where all of our replay sessions have been kind of hosted as well as that one page. And yeah, and if you want some more like social media to follow as well, you can follow me on my Instagram too. There you go. And yeah, and let me get that link for you when it comes to the actual events. Yeah. All right. What has your favorite part been this week? What has the favorite thing been? Awesome. And then this is the website for this for the program. Awesome. Yeah. And I'm here for your questions. So just let me know if you have any now. We have like oh, we're actually at time, but if you have any quick questions that you want to ask before tomorrow or Monday, you can go ahead and put them in the chat now, or you can even come off of your mic if you'd like to ask me a question. Awesome. And that's how the group coaching works. The group coaching aspect of the program is a group call like this, where we go on and we go one by one sequentially over the topic or the area that we want to go over for the month. And then we have the one-to-one check-in calls, and that's when we're checking in with you individually to see how your action plan is going. In the first month of the program, it's all about that action plan, making sure that every member knows exactly what the benchmarks are and the things they're working on every single month of the program. We are also it is structure, right? We expect people to come in and be very, very interested in changing their health outcomes. It could be because they're dealing with something currently, or because they just want to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row preventatively. And working specifically on strengthening their abilities to do that with natural solutions. So that's the whole first month. The second month is the garden. So we're making sure that you know in and out how you're going to grow your garden, the soil, from the soil to the containers to the bed styles, to the resources you'll need, the costs, the plan, the budgets, um, or foraging and or a mix of those two, and or the farmers market relationships, because again, that strategy that we introduced this week, we understand like some of you are not going to go out and have a gigantic backyard garden. That's just not alignment with a lot of people. And then the third month is a 4-month retainer for the coaching and training calls, the live training calls. The third month, we're going into the herbal workspace and making sure that the workspace is congruent in alignment and is active and you're nourishing it. And then month 4, we're focusing on herbal medicine making, herbal writing, those other ways to fill the apothecary and your formulation skills. So there's even more to go into formulation, right? The plants, the chemistry, the actual ways to blend them successfully. Yeah, and that's the program. So you get a year's access to the course, all the materials that we're giving you each month that you'll be able to then either go into. So our recommendation is to do the whole 4-month journey with us live, the whole process. And then when we're not live anymore, you redo the whole process with a new set of themes or the same theme again on your own, and then change it up again and do the theme one more time or a different theme with the course again. So you have a whole year to really do our system several times and to get the most out of it with our all of our information that we provide you and all the insights and replays from the coaching and training calls. And you also get a year-long access to the community. So you get to hold on to people forever. I can't even tell you how valuable it is to be in a community of like-minded people, and then to take those relationships past programs. So you can continue to build things together, collaborate together. refer one another, um, build book groups together, like I did with a group from my original school, do online hubs together. Um, there was this one group we did a flower exchange. So over the years, we've sent essences every year. So this, relationships in healing is crucial. Um, as well as the hyper connectivity to an experienced mentor to really be able to say like, well, have you tried this, and okay, this is where you are with this, but now let's see if we can add this herb in, or let's take this one out, and we're there with you to help you answer your questions along the way. All right, friends. Well, I'm going to save this chat and thank you all for being here. And I'm available, Laura at lauraphoenicals.com as well, if you'd rather drop me an email, or you can find me easily on Facebook. And I hope you have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you tomorrow for some business and farmers market talk. Thank you.